Monsanto was established in St. Louis, Missouri by John Francis Queeny in 1901. This Monsanto, now referred to as the former Monsanto, was very different from the $47 billion agrochemical empire they are today. Former Monsanto produced chemicals such as PCBs, DDT, and Agent Orange until the mid-1970s when they released Roundup herbicide, Monsanto's patented glyphosate. The release of Roundup marked the beginning of Monsanto's rise to power. In 1982, the company developed the first genetically engineered plant cell. This new genetic advancement, coupled with the acquisition of the Jacob Hart Seed Company, allowed Monsanto to release a new strain of soybeans that were glyphosate resistant, or Roundup ready, in 1996. By 2013, Monsanto controlled 90% of the United States' soybean seed market. Today, they are the world's largest seed company and one of 6 agrochemical companies that together control 75% of the world's agricultural inputs. These inputs include seeds, plant material, compost, and pesticides. 88% of scientists regard GMO foods as being generally safe to eat. John Entine's Trillion Meal Study, in which animals were fed GMOs for 29 years, is often used to back up this comfort. This inherently doesn't seem like such a bad thing. Herbicide-resistant crops allow for relatively easy weed and pest control, resulting in higher yields and more food, in turn making everyone wealthier and happier. Most scientists agree that the food is safe, so why is everyone upset with Monsanto? Despite studies that show Americans' clear distrust of GMO foods, Monsanto simply doesn't provide the world with what seems to be a potential solution to world hunger for free. Monsanto, just like any other Titan company, aims to turn a profit at the expense of nearly anyone and everyone. Monsanto's seed scientists are not engineering seeds that produce more seeds that would allow farmers to expand their crop yields. Rather, they developed something called a terminator gene, which is in place solely to prevent fertile offspring from a Monsanto plant to be produced. This eliminates the practice of seed saving, using the seeds from one harvest for the next year's crop, and forces farmers into a monopolistic cycle in which Monsanto controls nearly all aspects of the farmer's land and practices. Despite being one of the most hated companies on the planet, Monsanto has managed to stay relevant and wealthy simply because they deal primarily with industrial-scale agribusinesses that have been trapped in a cycle of pesticide petrochemical fertilizer use. Years of using Monsanto's pesticides and herbicides has had its effects on farming practices. Nuisances such as weeds and insects are becoming resistant to poisons and are requiring higher dosages in order to be dealt with. This results in farmers having to spend more money to spread more potent poison on the foods we eat with no end in sight. It took almost 40 years for the World Health Organization to list glyphosate as a probable carcinogen, which caused the FDA to begin testing for glyphosate in food. Glyphosate has shown up in a wide variety of consumables, from German beers to French panty liners. Nearly 75% of air and rain samples in Mississippi has tested positive for glyphosate. As of 2013, Mississippi was the 12th highest producer of soybeans in the United States.